Hey guys, so, I was in the middle of watching this video by that Bjorn guy, and real or fake in terms of the atmosphere, he shows you this is not why I want to talk about this. He was saying about how there's some kind of law that's being pushed in the UK and probably will be coming to the US and Canada fairly soon. I'm not going to get into it. It was uploaded actually very, very recently, like his most recent video. I just want to talk about this crazy stuff in general, like eliminating all carbon from the atmosphere or, meeting certain standards for climate change that are actually quite unreasonable to meet. Do these people want us all to die? Like, do they realize that if they try to kill us all, don't they realize they will have nobody else to feed off of but themselves? And then eventually, what are they gonna have? These are the people who just sit back on their freaking A's and arses. I'll say it. Arses. Like an Irish woman. Arse. They sit back on their arses and they just sit around talking and eating sugar donuts. Right? And then they like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. One guy's got a beer, drinking a beer. I think we should eliminate all carbon from the atmosphere. Kill all the freaking plants too. And the other guys, brain fogged from all the sugar, yeah, that's a great idea. One of the people's in a friggin' sugar coma, like, what do you say? What happened? What about carbon? These are the people we're dealing with here, right? And they're the ones setting the boundaries for us. We can't eliminate all carbon from the atmosphere because you know why? We will die, the trees will die, the earth will die. Everything will die. You will die, my friend. And you breathe out carbon dioxide. Animals breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide. If we kill the plants, there will be no oxygen going into the atmosphere. So, I'm hoping that some of this is satire, but I'm starting to think not all of it is. The thing about banning meat by 2024, that ended up being, I don't know. I'm seeing article after article stating it was a fool. Like it was satire. It wasn't actually true. I saw a lot more arguments claiming that than I did saying that it was. There were a few vegan sites, but that was it. I didn't even see, like, any government official, like, I didn't even see the USDA or whatever the heck talking about it. As far as I know, it's probably a hoax. I think that was, I don't know. I'm not saying they're not going to try to do that in the future, but 2024 is, like, unrealistic. Let's be real. Lab-created meat is not taking off as well as we would like. I mean, think about it. Do you know how much money that will go into? Do you know how much that's going to affect the government, too? Like, even the government won't be able to keep up. And no one will. No one. We're already having a lot of trouble keeping up. Everybody on the planet is having trouble keeping up. It doesn't matter if you're vegan or carnivore. We're all having trouble keeping up. I'm sure even the government is like, what do we do? Everybody's bombarding us with all these things that we have to... How do we fund all this? And even these companies are probably... They might only have billions when these other organizations might need trillions, right? And some might need quadrillions when the others only have trillions. So just because you have trillions of money, trillions of dollars, doesn't mean your money is unlimited. It doesn't. It really doesn't, okay? A little Hurricane Lee update before I get back to what I was saying. I was lucky. Very lucky. Charlottetown was quite lucky. At least where I am, like around this area here. I don't know about the rest of Charlottetown. There's 3 counties on Prince Edward Island: Prince, Kings, and Queens. I'm in Queens. Kings and Prince, I'm not really sure how they're all doing. The worst of it, I think, was like, farther, I guess, west. I don't know what areas those are. But they said that the particular areas, like, I don't know in terms of, like, direction where these places are. I don't know if you go west or east or what, but Tignish and Shediac, they were hit the worst from what I've heard. And like those were the places that got the most wind, and there's some power outages going on and stuff like that. So there are power outages. We got lucky. At least I'm pretty sure my parents have power too. They don't live too far from me, so they probably still have power. I would assume anyway. So we're good. The wind really hasn't been that strong. Sometimes you'll hear it go, like try to blow against the building, push against the building, and you'll hear like the dumpster lids kind of boom, boom. But that's about it. You don't really hear much other than that. So we're fine. We're good. It's not even as strong across the board as Fiona was, because Fiona here was like 138 to 140 kilometers an hour winds, which is, I think, like, I want to say like 80 something miles an hour. I could be wrong. I think that's more 100 and something miles per hour. I don't know. But no, I think it's about 80 something miles per hour, 85 probably. 140 kilometers an hour. Crazy. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the craziness that people are putting out into the world. Take out all the carbon from the atmosphere. You won't even be able to grow any plants, because the plants will die. And I think you will too, honey bun. Doesn't matter if you got freaking greenhouses. If all the carbon's out of the atmosphere, that means that there's no carbon anywhere, right? No carbon will exist. So what are the trees going to breathe? What are the plants and trees going to breathe? Will you even, where will the oxygen go? Because the plants won't be alive to expel it. So where's all the oxygen going to go? Am I, crazy for asking these questions? Assuming you could do this. happened to even just simply thinking? Besides the money aspect, what happened to even just thinking through a statement before you make it? Before you outright claim something. Oh, we're going to be carbon neutral. Our goal is to get rid of all the carbon. How? The life cycle requires carbon. So how? If you meant unnatural emissions, like from gases from factories, look, you need to be specific in your wording. What I would say is we have a goal to eliminate all greenhouse gas emissions from factories, from our this and from that. But you have to be specific. Like, you have to say, like, your factories, your houses, your stores, whatever, by 2030, whatever, right? Like, we have a goal to eliminate all emissions of unnatural carbon, like carbon monoxide or something, right? Like, we have a goal to eliminate all greenhouse gases from the transportation that we currently use, and we're going to go with these forms of transportation. I don't know. You have to be specific. If you just, like, that's the problem too, is people just say stuff. There is that too. People just say words to say words, and they're not really specific. Because people emit carbon too. We emit carbon. We breathe in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide, right? When you go, you're breathing in oxygen. If you go, you're breathing out carbon dioxide. If you get rid of the trees, first of all, you won't be able to go, and you also won't be able to go because you'll be dead. Sorry, that's just the one big thing that I watched the Apple event, and somebody also played part of the ad from that in their video. Somebody reacted to it. Why do we need to be watched like we're drug addicts or something? Like minors who found themselves dabbling in illegal substances. Why do we need to be watched like that? Why? Why do we need people tuning into our cameras and looking at what we're doing? I mean, is this even, like, why? What happened to, like, that's another thing too. People are saying, oh, well, pretty soon the governments are going to be, tracking your every movement, and you won't be able to go more than 20 minutes outside your home because you're taking your car. First of all, how can that even be possible? Like, I can see them stopping you, but I don't understand why you, look, if the place you need to go is further than 20 minutes, like, they really don't have any business doing that, but And I don't see how well that could go down. Because think about this. Let's say you are a police officer, right? And you're the only one who is able to go down to the crime scene. And let's say the crime scene is about 30 minutes away from where you are currently. Right? You're the only one available to, like, they're sending others, but they're gonna send people for backup, but you have to take your car there because there's no one else available to, like, at your location. So you have to take the car. You have to take your car, and everybody else probably has their own cars too. I would assume, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some that go there's some that go in separate cars. But like let's say you're still at the station because, you finished your call that you were on, and then you got another one. It's 30 minutes away. How are you going to get there? Are you going to be the exception if you're the police officer, or what? Like, and then there's going to be other cars probably coming from 45 and 60 minutes away. Maybe one will come that is 15 minutes away, but and these cars are going to be coming to help back you up, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm saying it completely wrong, and maybe I'm not, but how is that going to work? Because I'm sure even the police officers won't be able to get past this rule. They have to obey the rules too. Right? Like, a police officer can't just, they can't just, there's certain laws that they have to abide by too. And, they're not exempt. You can't make exemptions. Some things, yes, but some things, they're reasonable exemptions. But something like this, if you're trying to get rid of the carbon into the atmosphere, emissions, whatever, and that includes stopping you from driving your car, does that mean the police will get different types of cars that don't emit gas, or what's going to happen there? And then what about somebody who might need to go to an appointment, and the appointment is 45 minutes away from their house, and they have to stop? Look, I'm just saying, I don't see this taking off. It's gonna be really difficult, actually. It would be too hard to fully pass this, and something like this is just. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm not saying it will either. It's something about it just. I don't know. Sorry, but some people don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They have to go further than 15 to 20 minutes. You little butt-hurt pieces of crap. Oh, another thing. Companies are companies, and they are going to do what they are going to do. I'm heated by this video too, that same video that had the Apple, we want to reduce all carbon from the atmosphere. Well, in that same video, the guy that was doing the reaction, he said that stop supporting Apple. I have a question. What makes Google themselves? What makes Samsung? What makes Huawei? What makes, um, excuse me, what makes OnePlus, Xiaomi, um, what makes any of these companies any better? What makes Microsoft any better? What does? What makes them any better? You're still supporting Google when you buy Android phones. It doesn't matter what Android phone you're getting. You're still supporting Google, right? Because Android's a part of Google. So what makes them any better from Apple in terms of how the companies operate? Serious question. Serious question. You can't control people. You can't control people's impulses sometimes. And sometimes when you say stuff just to say stuff, you're gonna get a lot of backlash. Stop saying stuff just to say stuff, people. I think if we're gonna make money in this world, we're gonna have to at least start using specific language. Very specific. We can't use this vague language anymore, because then there's gonna be people that don't know what you mean, right? Be honest. We're done with lies. Whether it's lying by omission or like little white lies, you know. Maybe lying by omission is a little white lie, I'm not sure, but because I know lying, like a white lie is when you tell part of the truth but not all of it. So yeah, I guess you could say lying by omission. Just outright lies, stupid outlandish claims. Guys, we need to be more transparent so that everybody knows what to do and what not to do. Okay? Everybody knows how to feel and how not to feel. We cannot be operating on fear anymore and anger. If you want to make money, you need to be very clear with what you say. I can't stress this enough. I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah. But this vagueness needs to stop. Needs to stop. Like, I think we can all agree, we know what they mean when they say, for example, we want to reduce meat consumption by 2035 to 0. That's understandable, like, in terms of what you're saying and how you're saying it. Although, we could get a little more literal and be like, do you yourself? Do you mean we as in you and your family? If you say the world, then we get what you mean, and then we're like, okay, so we can't trust you then. We know who to trust and who not to trust at that point, right? We do. There's documentaries coming out now saying how veganism is not the way to go, like we thought it was. And I shared a couple documentaries on my page. With Lee starting to dissipate, it's still blowing from time to time, but we're in the safe zone now. It's like the worst of it's over now. We're done. Yep. Lee is pretty much starting to dissipate. We're getting some breeze still, some wind, some gusts, but it's died down. It like picks up and dies down, but it's not been to the point where it's like, oh crap. So, yeah, so there's that. Okay, people. I want you to take anything anyone says with a grain of salt. But if somebody says this was how we were, carnivore was how we were meant to eat. If somebody says that, yes, look at your stomach. Do you know how it feels when you stuff all that food down into your stomach? How does that feel? How does that feel when you stuff all those veggies down your stomach? Does it hurt? I don't think it hurts cattle when they eat a whole bunch of grass and stuff. And the deer when they eat a bunch of leaves and things like that. I don't think it hurts them. I don't think they'd be walking around all like with their butt all clenched and the face all contorted. And their like bellies all bloated to the ground, and because they ate too much fiber. You don't see gorillas holding their arms to their stomach, clenching, trying to hold you don't see that either. We're not supposed to be in pain. So, and we're not supposed to be full of gas. Think about how much you're emitting that way. When you're filling up your stomach enough to where you're burping and farting constantly. I'm sorry. Constant. It's not normal to be constantly, And if you're having that problem on carnivore, electrolytes. I probably need more electrolytes myself. Don't listen to these people that say you need to eat lots and lots and lots of plants. In fact, only plants. Don't listen to those people. Because if we do that, we're in pain. We are in pain. Oh, but I figured it out. I know why I was in pain as a vegan. I wasn't taking this and I wasn't doing that. So you're inducing diarrhea? Is that what you're saying? Because there is no happy medium with a vegan diet. There's none. Especially as you get a little further into it. Yeah. So that's not what our stomach is not meant to be out like past it's not, you're not supposed to look pregnant. You're not. You're not supposed to look pregnant despite not actually being pregnant. You're not supposed to. That's not how the human body should be working. That is painful. Imagine how much pain. And I know they always talk about gut pain. They always do. The vegans who actually come out and say it, they do. They talk about gut pain all the time. Oh, I was so bloated. I looked pregnant. I was in pain. I was this. I was that. Pooping all the time. And some would even just say, like, I was gassy all the time. Burping, farting constantly. Having all these weird, like, rumblies in my stomach. And just these weird, like, I don't know. And if you're feeling all weird and just not, like, just like you're not on this earth. Like, you feel like if you feel like that, like all foggy, just unable to focus. Honey, get off the vegan diet. Go carnivore. Or eat a lot of fat anyway, like a lot of animal fat, butter, lard, tallow, all of it. Cheese if you can tolerate it. Lots and lots of fat. But animal fat. Okay? Do it. Tell me how you are once you do that. Okay? Do that. I want to know how you are once you do that. veganism doesn't work for any human, because a human is not meant to be vegan. We might have been vegan creatures 7 billion years ago, or 7 million years ago, or whatever it was. Yeah, 7 million. We were monkeys then. We weren't even humans. Our ancestors were monkeys. And then they started dispersing. The chains started to, to break. Things started to kind of diverge. And like we became, like some of us were humans, some of us were chimps, some of us were, I don't know. So, yeah. I think you need to start wording yourself, oh, but if I tell the truth, then people won't trust me. That's the point. That's the point, though. And then there might be some others that actually will believe you and be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Right? I can applaud Apple if they meant, like, reducing our emissions or reducing the emissions of our factories and whatever. Yeah. And maybe getting rid of excess carbon is good. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's the problem. It's too much carbon and we need to get rid of the excess carbon. But I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm going to try and get to sleep. I have been sleeping so horribly lately. I don't know why. I think I've been stressed because it's been, hurricane season starting up, and my voice is messed up, so I can't do my project. I was really hoping to get it out to you like that other day, but that was when my voice was starting to go, and then the hurricane, and then why? Because at this point you're probably just like, oh, she's excuses. I know what I sound like. Once Lee finally dies down fully, I will go back to my project and get the sound effects put in at least. And then when my voice is a bit better, I'll add the description, and then I will upload it. I promise. It's going to happen. I just won't give a definite date anymore because, yeah. But it will come out, and then my next one, I won't give you any promises on that one either, but maybe I'll just read the story to you as kind of an audio story. Maybe. I might do that, or I might make an actual reenacted version of it. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I was thinking about even trying like ASMR. Because somebody said my voice was really fitting for that. So once my voice gets a little bit better, I'm thinking I might try that. I don't know. Let me know, though, what you think about this whole debacle about, climate change and what these people are saying to try and combat it. And the outlandish claims they make to try and, either scare us or... Anyway, Later, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.